Hi, my name is Joe. I am still a fat black belt. Uh, so I know that yesterday I said I was thinking about doing weigh-ins on Mondays, but I am now thinking, and this is not because my weight's up. It's not. It's down. But I'm thinking weigh-in Wednesdays. It's got better alliteration, so could have like gang signs. I don't know how that would work. So, how did today go? Well, you know, first off, I have been pretty hungry today. Or rather, I brought that on myself. Let's talk about it. So, today was my daughter's first day of all day dance camp. And so my son and I decided to take him out for a special lunch. We went to Red Robin. Red Robin used to be one of my very favorite places to eat. We would go there like weekly, but honestly, their prices have gone up quite a bit. And like at this point, I think it's what, a $15 burger, $4 drinks, plus tax. I'm paying $40 to take me and a 9-year-old boy there. So like that's a lot. I just, it's not even that I can't do it financially. It just feels dumb. So, but I do really like the staff there. And today we had our favorite server, and apparently she still remembered me because I sat down. She brought me, an iced tea and some artificial sweetener, and then just started bringing broccoli out. The reason I like going to Red Robin is because it's like the only place in town with bottomless broccoli, which is fantastic. I eat a lot of broccoli. I used to eat much more. I used to sit down and pack away like 5 or 6 sides of broccoli because it was a safe way for me to stuff myself with food. And so it was like I was feeding that unhealthy, binge mechanism, but I was just doing it with broccoli. And then I also get a lettuce wrap there, not just because it's better for me, but also I can just taste the burger better. So, I'm there for the burger. So it was a good meal, but because she brought out 4 sides of broccoli, I ate 2.5 sides of broccoli, which plus the burger was just more food than I have been eating lately. So I kind of had that like achy, overfull feeling in my stomach. And, I think I used to love that feeling and I don't now. It just kind of felt like an upset stomach. But what it also did was it kind of, loosened my stomach up a little bit. And so now my stomach thinks, well, we could probably fit more food in here. I ate some chicken tenders for dinner. Not the regular kind, not the, Red Robin kind or whatever. I did these oven baked. I have a recipe that the guy over at Exercise for Cheat Meals threw together. I toss a little vital wheat gluten into the wheat to sort of up the protein factor, egg whites, all that stuff, all the bodybuilding stuff. And I'm not bodybuilding, but more protein is going to keep me satisfied longer, so that's what I did. So I had about 4 big chicken tenders for dinner. Man, those 4 big chicken tenders I had for dinner probably contained the same amount of meat as like the 6 chicken tenders I had at Raising Cane's. That sucks. Anyway, and they were cheaper. So I toasted those up. They were really good. I thought about throwing together some cabbage or whatever, but honestly, I was writing for most of the night. I, had a handful of peanuts, and then I had double Yasso bars. That's because I'm starving, and my stomach's like, you got to get something in me. And I thought, well, 200 calories of ice cream bar is probably safe enough. So that's what I had. Anyway, it's late, and I am thinking about going to bed here. Exercise today was non-existent, which is the other reason I felt hungry. I know this seems counterintuitive, right? You think I exercise, I use a bunch of calories, I need to eat more food, and that does kind of happen on a long enough timeline. But I have found that if I time it correctly, what happens is I wake up, I'm not that hungry, usually, and if I can do a little bit of food to tide me over, then some heavy exercise, some martial arts, or whatever workout I'm going to do that day, I don't want to eat immediately after that exercise, right? Because my body's like, ugh, no. And it takes a while for me to kind of come down from that. And by the time I do, I can basically eat, a normal sized dinner and then kind of coast on that for the most part. And that is what I have been doing most of the time here. So I've basically been doing 2 good sized meals and a snack, which is not where I'd like to be. I'd kind of like to be at 3 slightly smaller meals and a snack if I can manage it. But I'm really accepting Fridays, not that much of a breakfast guy. So we will see how it goes. Anyway, plugging along, the weight's coming down. I'm feeling pretty good about that. I am still working on the flexibility for this summer, trying to get those side kicks up, and we'll see where it goes. That's all for today.